Let's get all sorted. I'm James.
And I'm Jeff. Today we take to the skies as we count down our favorite Lego helicopters.
Hello, Jeff.
Hey, James.
And a hello and a thank you to all of our listeners and our patrons over there on Podbean, or our patrons who went to Podbean and supported us.
We really appreciate it. If you'd like to support us, please head on over to Podbean and sign up. And we truly appreciate all the support we've gotten. And anyone that wants to chip in, it all helps.
It does. And thanks for everybody who's reviewed us over on iTunes, visited the website, left comments, all the things that you guys do. It's awesome.
We read everything, and we do feel the love out there. Thank you very much.
Yeah. And this week we're going to feel the love a little bit more, and also not a little bit of not love, because we're going to look at the best and, well, not the best.
Is this one of our world famous list episodes?
It is.
Yay!
It's one of our, we really feel good about these, and these ones we don't have those same feelings.
It is fun to go through the history of Lego and see everything that's come out in a very specific topic. And one thing we found is Lego loves helicopters. That's not a surprise. If you've ever bought, 5 sets, you probably have 3 helicopters.
It's true. Again, just put a rotor on it. Just whatever. And some of these, that seems like what they literally did.
There's definitely a thought you need to add swooshability to everything. Yeah. And we have a part that adds instant swooshability.
Nothing better than a rotor. I was thinking one of the only helicopter I know as a kid was a bad polybag helicopter.
Yeah.
That came from, I think it might have been McDonald's or something like that. And that rotor, exactly what you said, just adding that little swooshability, it was like 3 pieces and a rotor. And I was like, I've got a helicopter.
It can fly now.
Or I'll just spin this rotor-like thing because it's kind of entertaining. But it really was not a helicopter. But again, it added something. And I don't think there's another part that, outside of a set of 2 sets of wheels.
Yeah.
Really do the same thing.
A jet engine and wings?
I don't know. No. You can't spin the jet engine.
That's
There's no
true.
turbines.
It is very kinetic.
Yeah.
As a child, I was definitely drawn to them. As an adult, I am tired of them.
Yeah.
But then we did this episode, and Brickset has 384 sets tagged with the helicopter keyword.
There could be more. And some of these are also like 3-in-1s and stuff. So it's not exclusively a helicopter set, but it has the possibility of a helicopter.
So having all that data, looking at it, we did have some ground rules.
Yeah.
We said it has to be minifig scale.
Yeah.
Because what's the point of having a helicopter if you can't fly Batman around?
Well, that's exactly. That's your criteria.
And then the other criteria was there was no other criteria.
I stayed away from polybags.
Yes, I agree. We could have ripped into polybags.
I don't think any of them would have made my favorite. No. And many I would have been. It was like kicking a puppy. I just couldn't do it. I was like, that's not fair to the people that design polybags, really. So there will be a couple mentions of them, but yes. I get those limitations. So we try to stay away from those.
Yes. So these are, for the most part, legitimate Lego sets, full size, fun.
And when you gave me the criteria, I basically went with this as the way I went into it, Jeff. I thought, I'm scrolling through the 384 sets and really trying to think what speaks to me. I just went with sets that were slightly absurd or kind of outrageous in a way. And I thought, what would the child in me want to play with? I went for those. As an adult, there's so many of the newer sets that have this realism to them. They're beautiful sets. But I sometimes went, wow, how do I get the minifigures in and out of that easily? Or, like that. Those are the kinds of concerns. So as a beautiful thing, they were lovely. There's so many good helicopters right now, but I didn't probably pick any of them.
So play value trumped everything.
Yeah, exactly. So just before people write their hate screeds at me for missing all of the beautiful things out there, that I just kind of had to go with playability as my big factor. I want the big kid.
When you're rating toys, playability is a very good criteria.
Yeah, that was.
I went a little bit different. I went through the list. I'm looking at the images, and I just tried to have an emotional reaction. If I reacted to it, if I thought that's gorgeous, that's realistic, that's beautiful,
screams, come fly with me, Jeff.
That's fun.
Yeah,
I put it on my list.
Yeah.
And then I took the 500 helicopters I had, which is weird because we only started with 384. Somehow they had multiplied, and then I shrunk them down into my faves, my top 5. And I had about 12 that I had to knock down to 5. And I think if you ask me tomorrow,
It would change.
It would be a different list.
Absolutely. If I look, depending on the mood I'm in when I look at a giant pile of stuff. All right, well, let's
dive in. Let's start with your number 5.
Okay, so this would be my one that I thought looked amazing. I kind of tried to put them in a top 5, Jeff, but honestly, it's kind of an intermixable. I went with 70170 Ultracopter versus Antimatter. This thing just looked like a lot of fun to play with. It looks like Airwolf. I think there's like something from the 80s that came to me when I looked at this thing. I just went, this thing looks mean. And it looks kind of fun, fun mean.
Exactly. I think the color scheme on this is amazing.
Yeah.
With your black and your translucent blue, and then a little bit of orange highlights, a little bit of white highlights.
Like, you get rid of all those minifigures and everything. Like, I don't care about that, but the chopper itself, wow.
It does. It means business.
And the stacked rotors like that, that's kind of a cool effect. I don't have this, but I like you see the gears, you see the Technic bits. This thing's got some swooshability.
For sure, and it looks solid as well, which is always nice in a swooshable helicopter.
It's got wheels. You can bring that thing down. It can go back up, do stuff.
It's got a cargo hold.
It looks like a fun little set. I don't know. Yeah, I just saw a ton of playability. It wasn't the weapons. It's funny, just seeing it now is what made me think of Airwolf all of a sudden. I don't know why. I never thought of that.
Wasn't Airwolf like just a military helicopter?
I think it was, but this thing looks...
Was it green or black?
Rather military-ish. Yeah, I think it was green.
I'd say the bulk of our audience is going, Air what now?
Yeah, well, it's like a combination of Knight Rider and Airwolf. Maybe. I don't know.
That would be a good description, yes. Your sort of vehicle-based 80s show.
That's what this thing looks like to me.
Yes.
I don't know why.
Well, I think I'll do some foreshadowing and say, stay tuned. This may make appearance on my list as well.
Oh, interesting. All right, so what is your number 5, Jeff?
My number 5 is set number 60166, Heavy Duty Rescue Helicopter.
That's a nice helicopter.
There were a few Coast Guard sets that made my list. I think partially because I really like the color blocking, where you've got the orange and the white and the blue. It's got some nice lines, some nice striping. It's got 6 rotors, and you look at that and you go, yes, that will save people's lives. In heavy winds and heavy rains off the coast, this helicopter will fly.
The 6 rotors is one of the things that I had a hard time with this one where I wanted to pick it, but I kind of looked at the accessibility, and that's where I knocked it off my list. It wasn't outrageous enough, but it's beautiful. It is a beautiful, beautiful helicopter. The more rotors, the better. That's how helicopters work.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure exactly how helicopters work.
Well, I think when people that actually work in engineering on aeronautics, I think that's one of the criteria when they come to the guy's like, hey, sir, I've got the new helicopter design. And then not enough rotors. And they send them back.
It's hard to be an intern at the helicopter factory.
It is.
For sure.
Yeah.
Just knowing how many rotors is enough rotors, how many rotors is too many rotors.
15 rotors, son.
Yeah.
What are you trying to do? Bankrupt us? 14. Now we're talking.
Yeah. We like even pairs of rotors. Thank you very much.
So yeah, that's a good choice. Have you built any of these bigger ones? Or these?
It's funny. I own a lot of helicopters.
Yeah.
I've built a lot of helicopters. None of the helicopters I've built are on the list.
Yeah. Isn't that funny?
Isn't that weird?
Well, maybe not.
And part of it is, as we found as we were going through this, there's a lot of good helicopters, right? That they're not bad, they're not great.
Exactly.
It's a helicopter.
It's a helicopter.
It meets my expectations.
Yeah. We'll hit my number 4 here. Number 4, I went with 5886 T-Rex Hunter. Now, this might strike you as an odd choice. I went with, what? This thing's insane. This thing is ridiculous.
It's funny. This was almost on my least favorite list.
I can see it because it's hideous. You know what I'm seeing? 6 rotors.
That's what got you again.
That's what got me. No, I went with the playability on this thing. I thought, this is absurd. It looks like you could kind of grab this thing in the middle and really fly it around. Like, there's a lot of playability here. I like the whole extra dino theme. So there's a lot of story. Like, the helicopter is integral to the whole dinosaur adventuring thing here. I just like that as an idea.
When we did our dino episode, we talked about the ridiculousness of, I'll be up in the helicopter, you get down on the ATV pulling a cart. You're the bait
exactly.
in this scenario.
I mean, you're the linchpin of this operation.
This whole thing falls apart if you're not down there to make the dinosaur run after you so we can get it with the helicopter.
Exactly. I'm assuming with this one, you just kind of, like with a lot of the vehicles now, you just pop the top and get your minifigs in, which isn't the easiest. But once they're in, it looks like it flies around quite nicely. I don't know. I liked the weirdness of it. It was trying to do something totally different. And I agree. I don't know if this is why it's number 4. I don't know that this in fact should be number 5. I don't know. And in fact, it maybe shouldn't have made it my list at all. But it caught my eye yesterday when I was going through these, and I really quite like it.
The color scheme is quite nice with a lot of yellow, some gray.
I don't know what that rear wheel business. I guess they needed to have elevation or in order to hook up the thing, the big pulley system.
And you want to land without crushing the dinosaur you've captured as well. That's kind of key.
I guess so. I hadn't overthought it, really. I just thought, that's weird. All right, how about you? What do you got for number 4?
I don't know if I can top that, to be honest. My number 4 is... Hey, guess what?
Oh, no.
70170 Ultracopter versus Antimatter.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's funny. I should have put that in my number 4. We both would have had the same one. It's a good number 4.
Yeah, what can we say about it that we haven't already said 2 minutes ago?
I don't know, man. Well, do we want to just skip? We'll go right to your number 3 then.
Sure, let's go to my number 3. This is 60093 Deep Sea Helicopter. Apparently, I really like moving cargo and people around.
These are beautiful, though. Like that, another one, yeah. Twin rotors.
The whole deep sea line, I think we both really like.
We do. Yeah. Arctic, deep sea. I really like those lines. There's
some good city lines for sure.
It looks like there's so much playability. Like, I just love the story.
I almost had one of the volcano helicopters on my list as well.
Uh-huh.
This one beat it out.
Yeah, that was a nice one, too.
Yeah. But I really like, again, the color scheme is the blocking is fantastic with the yellow lines, the gray, the dark blue. It's got 2 3-bladed rotors, so take that. Yeah. That's 6 rotors, but different.
It's elegant. It looks big and boxy, but also quite aerodynamic and streamlined. Like, it looks less like a cargo train in the air, and it does look more like an elegant jet. This is what you imagine. You look at like the president's helicopter and this is what you expect kind of thing, you know?
It is for sure a modern people mover helicopter.
Yeah. No, I like that.
That can hold a sub.
Which
is pretty nice.
That's something you got to do, right?
Well, I think so. I'm just realizing that 2 of my 3 picks so far, the helicopters come with sharks. So maybe I'm just really excited for the next Sharknado movie. I'm getting a little ahead of myself.
This is funny. Huh. Well, what you got to try and do is put an ugly helicopter with a shark and see what you do with it. You're like, brain, not computing.
I'm sure there's one that exists.
Well, I thought I would take my love of creatures and helicopters, Jeff, and combine them for my number 3, which is 9443 Rattlecopter.
I almost had this one on my list as well.
I liked how outrageous this thing is, and yet at the same time, it doesn't look like they did a terrible job mashing together elements of the theme into a chopper. The chopper and the theme melded beautifully together, I feel like. Because sometimes you're like, it looks tacked on. This one, it actually looks like, okay, they thought out what would a snake helicopter look like.
We've given a lot of grief to Ninjago vehicles in the past on this podcast. This one succeeds.
I think so. Sure.
I think if you're trying to intimidate people with your snake-like prowess, whilst being in a helicopter, this works.
I don't know how I noticed the rotor tilts up on a weird angle there. Like, it's got an odd design to it, but I really like that. Also, we've got more of those sword blades.
Yeah, you need that.
You got to have sword blades.
Because if you can't decapitate someone with a regular blade on your helicopter, that's not very evil.
No.
Right? Once again, decapitating Lego figures is not as violent as decapitating humans.
That's true. They're
just going to put the head back on, you know?
So I like, I've got dinosaurs and snakes on mine. You've got sharks. So is it the critters? Is that what we're after here?
Maybe we're just subconsciously, we're really, really into the critters.
I don't know.
I don't know. I hope my next set doesn't lead us down that path. For my number 2.
What do we got?
It's the classic Batman helicopter from the classic Batman TV show, set number 76052. The very famous bubble cockpitted helicopter from the TV. It was from the movie, wasn't it?
I don't even remember.
And I'm just realizing now that this set also has shark repellent in it. So really, we're 3 out of 4 for sharks now.
Oh my gosh. And it's got bat wings, so there's a critter.
It's got the big bat wings. It's red and black, classic Batman logo, big bubble dome. I love this thing. I love this thing. When I look at it, I think pow, bop, wham.
Pow, bop, wham. I do kind of like it. I also kind of don't like it. I do. No, I do. I think it fits the theme of what it was trying to do perfectly. It's interesting is there was a friend's helicopter that looks very similar that has the bubble dome in
Yes.
it. And I was looking at that going, what do I do with this thing? Because I felt the need to do something with it. I don't know that I did.
Well, robot power armor is always the answer when you have a bubble dome in a friend set.
That's true. It's funny that I don't know how I feel about the bubble dome helicopters. They're kind of cool.
But this, I think, for the source material, I think that's
totally
the thing.
works. Absolutely.
You know, that's that very 60s copter. It makes me want to go da na 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 na. We don't have the royalties. Na, 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 na.
That's the classic song.
Yeah, you all know it. You sing it home, right?
Now I went with the next one was 7298, and I once again couldn't get away from it. But loud and exciting Dino Air Tracker. It's from the Dino 2010. This thing kind of reminds me of the first set in a way, the kind of more Airwolfy looking military helicopter. This thing is it's long, it's kind of mean looking. It has this cross hybrid thing sort of between a jet and a helicopter look. And I like these design. I don't know why. I guess I'm seeing it now. This body design works for me. It's not like chunky, wide. It looks more, again, swooshable.
See, what I like about this set is you could take the rotor and the tail off, and you've got yourself a submarine.
Yeah, just about.
Right? You could add some jets on it. You've got yourself a spaceship.
Yes.
Add some wings on it. You've got yourself a jet. It's
true.
A very versatile design, but it does definitely give you that militaristic look.
Yeah, I guess that's what you need when you're hunting dinosaurs.
The only thing that concerns me is right by the rotors, they have a workstation that's exposed to the elements. You know, a couple of glass panels over it so you don't actually stand up and decapitate yourself. But what? Whose job is it to sit there?
That's where they keep the internet is up there.
That's the best Wi-Fi reception.
Yeah, they got it right next to the rotor. I don't know that. Yeah. Anyway, that's another one of these. Like I went for whole like wow. Yeah, bang pop whiz playability.
It definitely gives you that.
So now, how are you going to top all that with your number one favorite here, Jeff? Like, is this the one of these? There's so much action going on. There's things exploding. The box is like, oh my gosh! If I build this helicopter, it's going to come to life. Or what did you go with?
I think history will regard this choice as the best helicopter Lego's ever made.
Wow!
For a very specific reason.
Okay.
The set number 645.
Ooh.
So you know we're going back in time. Police helicopter.
Classic.
Very classic from 1979.
Wow.
And what I like about this one is it was around this era, Lego was still making vehicles that the minifigures couldn't actually fit in.
Right.
Which is ridiculous. But this set right here sort of set the Lego helicopter aesthetic. They still make helicopters that look like this. Big, round, bubbly body.
That's true.
So the minifig can sit in it with a little tail and a rotor on it.
Yeah.
The thing is, this one works.
Right. Every polybag aspires to be this.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And this is only 57 pieces all in.
Is it
including
really?
the minifig, yes.
Yeah, and yet it somehow feels a little bit more than that.
Well, part of it is the color blocking, right? You've got the blue on the bottom, the black on the top, and you get the police name on the side of the door. It's very much a police helicopter.
Yeah.
I never owned one of these.
No.
I could build this today, though. I have these parts.
Exactly. That's the interesting part, right? Almost anybody could build this thing right now.
No, the specialty pieces are not
that
not
special.
A lot.
Yeah.
So I really like what they were able to accomplish with very few parts, and I feel like this is a set that moved Lego in a new direction. Get the minifigure inside, opening and closing doors.
Yeah.
I really like it.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I think it's a nice example of that.
So what do you got? You gonna top that?
I am. I'm going to go back a ways as well. Not quite as far. I'm going to go back to 1989.
Well, some Madonna's on the radio.
Okay.
We've got Max Headroom has come and gone.
Okay.
Right?
God, we got to...
New Coke has come and gone.
So really, it's... and communism is officially been
That wall has torn down.
the wall's torn down,
And
stuff's happening.
yeah.
The Cold War is over. So what do we get? Set 6482. It's a light and sound system set and rescue helicopter. Dual rotors. Again, nice clear bubble where you can see the minifigure fits in there. I mean, the minifigure outside, like when you look at the scale of the front and then the rest of the helicopter, it looks kind of absurd, but it's also is functional. And in some ways, that same idea. It's like you see this design in those later sets that you picked, the ones I think that are more like functional professional helicopters where they're doing search and rescue or they're doing things like that. It has that same kind of utility meets excitingness.
Except this one has sound effects and lights, so it's even better.
Exactly.
This was almost on my list.
It's hard not
It was
to, right?
really close. And what's funny is you can see the smaller helicopter from 1979 reflected in this. This is just that with a bigger body put on.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of specialty pieces here.
No, exactly. I don't know what the age rating on this one was. There's a person without pants lying on the table waiting to be, but they're happy. They're a happy victim of some sort that is going to be rescued. I don't know what's going on in the box cover for this thing.
Well, we've got the one medic already on the ground.
He's
and
happy,
You can tell he's a
or
medic
she's
because he's
happy.
got a zippy jacket from 1989.
Yes, of
I'm
course.
assuming leather.
That's pretty sweet. Oh no, it's gonna be like rayon or nylon or some. It's gonna be a very plasticky. He's like, yeah, I'm a cyberpunk medic. with the medical case, and then the other person is laying on a cot, but everyone's happy.
The helicopter's about to land on and crush, so it is a little. It is maybe.
I like the sense of they made this thing look like it's kind of trying to take off, so it has weight in the picture. Like this thing looks like it weighs a ton.
It does. It does sort of have that. It looks substantial. All right, I agree. A work helicopter. I do like. It's funny with all the beautiful, sleek, modern designs. Mm-hmm. Our number one picks are from 89 and 79 with exposed studs.
I think in our heart, we both like that aesthetic. And we also, I don't know, I just felt you needed to pay some credit to these old designs. Like in some, I was looking for something that was one of the older sets that really did speak to me. And that was the one that jumped out. There's a lot of them that don't. There's a lot where I would go, I don't know. That one specifically, I thought was very cool. That whole the light and sound. I never had any of that light and sound stuff. That was an era where I did not have Lego.
No, I also missed out on light and sound.
And there's a lot of cool stuff that was in the light and sound. That's a whole other episode, man, that we should be looking at because there's some really cool sets in there.
That was Lego's first attempt to deal with the digital menace that it was overtaking children's minds.
Exactly, rotting us to the core.
I blame Nintendo.
Absolutely. I think it starts in the mid 80s. So yeah, we could definitely blame Nintendo. All right, so let's
those were 10, well 9 because we both had 9 great helicopters.
And there was a lot more great helicopters. Like I said, I think you could go through, I could easily pick another 10.
For sure.
And I think I would have probably picked half the ones you picked.
And I would have picked 1 or 2 of yours.
Yeah. It goes to show like there's some outstanding examples. Then there's a lot of like mid-length stuff where you're like, that's functional. That is a helicopter.
Yeah, not something
not
where
good,
I'm
not
disappointed to have, but not something I'm excited to have either.
I can't imagine getting it and thinking I need to play with this, right? Like you're just like, it's pretty. But then there's some that you look at and you go, you know what? Why'd you do it? Why'd you make these?
Definitely some misses. Now, I ordered my misses. And I think you couldn't say one was objectively worse than the other on yours.
I think I tried, but I don't know if they really are.
Well, why don't you start us off? What do you like?
Okay, what do I like? What do I like to not like?
What do we want to talk about?
Well, let's go with you know what? I'll start in. Really, I don't know that there is any one of these that is objectively worse than the others, but I'll start with this one here. It's going to be set number 41036, Jungle Bridge Rescue. Oh, I did put it. There we go. It is the Friends Bubblecopter.
Nice.
I looked at this and I just went, I don't know. You know what? Now there's part of me that's thinking it's kind of cute. Like I actually like a lot of I like this set as a whole, but it's because of the Jeep, and I love that little animal bridge with the little critter there. I thought,
animal bridge is
that is so adorable. Yeah, it's so cute. Yeah, I like everything about it. But then I looked at the copter and went, I don't know. Like I think I went from looking the light and sound one where they're doing a rescue and they've got a rescue cot thing, and this one just you look at it and go, no, give me the old one.
Yeah,
but
can we go back in time?
In terms of the ability to pop open the bubble and put a person in, or minifigure, and it is kind of nice. I'm kind of recanting.
I think, though, the reason this made your worst list is the scale is really, really wonky.
It is.
Because it's got the giant bubble, and then it has a huge winch, no?
A winch?
What is it?
Winch. A winch.
Winch on the side of it. It's not...
That's
very
true.
important not to talk about wenches in the Lego Friends line.
No. It's I think you're right. I think there's something kind of wonky with the mechanical nature of it outstrips everything else.
And then the choice to go with only 2 rotor blades and to cover up the 2 other exposed blades makes the... so it's a 4-bladed rotor that they put 2 large blades on and then 2 grill plates, and the scale is weird there. And then the tail is just a Technic axle.
I think if it was a less chunky rotor or less chunky blades, maybe 4 slim blades and not in black, maybe doing the blades in purple.
Yeah.
That would have maybe made the rest of the thing look a little less, you're right. The weight on it, like the way it's weighted, it looks
it's
weird.
Sort of top and front heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think that would have, and something with the landing pontoon, what do we call those things?
They're weird scaled as well.
Land on?
Well, they're pontoons if they float.
No, but yeah.
And they're skids or rails.
There we go. Sure. Those are words that sound like they're valid.
Yeah.
The thing it lands on. So those look weird. They don't look long enough or something.
No, especially for how top and front heavy it is.
Yeah. So maybe if those were a little bit more elegant as well, a little bit longer, and the rotor changed, I think I would like it. I'm not opposed to. I like the bubble design. There's something about it that is kind of eye catching.
The rest of the set is awesome. I like the little Jeepy truck that's in there, and the bridge is adorable, even though the bridge collapses.
And I really like the colors in the Friends set. Like I like what they're doing with this. I love that purpley truck. That's a fantastic little rescue vehicle. So yeah, it was hard. It was hard to kick on that little puppy right there. But I think we fixed it now, Jeff. If I was to get that set, I'd rebuild it and try to improve it in some way. So what do you got for your least favorite?
So my number 5 of my least favorite is set number 76016, Spider Helicopter Rescue.
This did not make the superhero cut.
On this one.
It's a weird one.
Don't know what's going on. It's a helicopter that also has 2 big side rotors, but it has a very tiny little tail rotor, which is more like a turbine than a rotor.
Yeah.
And it's very front heavy, and I don't get it.
It's like they needed to get rid. They didn't know which way they wanted to go. It's like they needed to get rid of one of the elements, and I feel like they should have got rid of the side turbines or the side, whatever those are, those side blade things. And I think if I was to build it, I don't think I would put those on.
But then it looks too weird without them too.
It is sleek as a chopper.
Does it?
It kind of is sleek. It's very like it has a fishy look to it. Like it's very slender.
I think if you got rid of the side turbines and you added skids for it to land on.
Yes.
Then maybe you'd go, that's a helicopter.
Yeah, that's true. And maybe make that rear, the whoop, 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 whoop thing. If you made that
the rear rotor?
Rear rotor. You made that look a little bit bigger. I don't know.
Functional, or I don't know either.
Yeah.
The play features are nice. It launches missiles. It 2 at a time. It's got a net that launches. That's awesome.
I don't know why they went with that. If it just didn't look wow enough. Like I'm blocking them out with my thumbs. And I feel so much better with the set when I get rid of those giant things. There was a couple sets that did this.
And it could be that this is straight out of the source material from Ultimate Spider-Man. I may have missed the episode.
Yeah.
I don't know that Spider-Man needs a helicopter as well, so there is that.
That's a good point.
If it was shield colors and a shield copter, maybe that would make sense. But it's Spider-Man who's famous for webbing his way around the city.
Yeah.
It's his helicopter.
Yeah.
That just doesn't. It just doesn't work for me. So I don't like it.
Okay. My next one here, I went back a ways. Yeah, I did, as a rule, stay away from the superhero sets, although I got some that they borderline almost. Yeah, I went with 6582 Daredevil Flight Squad. And this one I went with because you've got this jet, which looks like it's trying to be some kind of it's trying to be one of those spy planes. It's trying to be like this is an awesome spy plane. And also we've got this helicopter, which looks, I don't know what, it's a helicopter that has some
helicopter?
Skis that got put on the side. Like, what is that? It's hideous. I don't like it at all.
Again, it's a matter of scale, right?
Yeah.
And the idea, I think, is that it attaches to the other
Is that
the
what it is?
jet, and then it can come off. But would that then cause a lot of drag on the jet if you've got these helicopter blades just sticking out?
Why would you do that?
And that's going to throw the blades out of alignment, and then the helicopter won't be able to work anymore.
How many...
But I don't know if it actually attaches or not, or if it is a separate thing.
Boeing lost billions of dollars trying this technology out till they realized it was not sustainable.
I like the jet.
I do like the jet. That was my issue with this. When I looked at it, I went, well, I kind of like the jet.
The thing is, though, if when you look at this, and I told you it was made in 98, would you believe me?
I feel like no. I feel like it was made a decade earlier.
Yeah, 89-ish.
Yeah. Like this, I don't know. But this does have that kind of tie-in to space feeling. Mm-hmm. The fluorescent-y cockpit covers. I don't know. It's not. Yeah.
But the helicopter, it's all front heavy. The skis are way too far out.
They're bizarre, right? Like, how would you? Why? What? Those don't make sense.
It's only got 2 blades on the rotor.
Yeah.
Which I'm not.
And it's got the hubcap cover on the rotor, which I'm not a fan of.
Yeah.
Or whatever that part is.
Well,
the satellite
especially
part.
in this, the dish, it makes the blades look less substantial.
Yeah.
Even more so. It's just,
I don't know.
It's a miss. Let's just call it a miss.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know that you can improve this. But I like the chat.
I will say, more foreshadowing, we may have to talk about this set again later.
Oh, wow. Okay. Excellent. So what did you go with then for your next objectively not great?
So for number 4, if you're going to talk about helicopters and you're going to do a worst of helicopters, you know what theme you're going to have to talk about?
No.
How about a castle themed Fright Nights?
This one, oh my gosh! I did look at this. I looked at this and went, "Where's the helicopter?"
So, this is the helicopter from set 6087, Witch's Magic Manor.
I feel like we talked about this one in our castles theme or something.
We must have
because it's awful.
It is beyond ridiculous.
I mean, I get there's a lot. This is a jumbled mess of a set. I feel like kind of to begin with.
No, first off, this is not a case of them not using enough parts to make the copter work, because there's a lot of parts thrown into this copter.
There is.
But it's a witch on a large, heavy frame using a crystal ball to make bat wings rotate. Giant bat wings. So that she can fly. And here's the thing. Here's the thing that gets me is, it's like, we want the witch to be more dynamic, and we'd like to give her some, swooshability.
Yeah.
Put a broom piece in it.
Does it have nothing?
There's 2 brooms on the side of the helicopter.
Oh my gosh. Her scrying navigation system. She's like, let me look into my crystal ball. I'm about to crash into the structure, it tells me. Oh.
I'm seeing my future. I die in a fiery wreck.
I like that they put the dragon and the knight more in the foreground, because they're like, yeah, you know what sells this? The Witch's Magic Manor. No, I guess she's defending her magic manor, or what's the deal? What's going on here?
I think they're attacking her.
Right. Now,
there's
the
a big
dragon
rock.
is with the witch. Maybe.
I would think, right. The dragon's with the witch.
The dragon is more impressive. Now, we very recently here acquired 2 of these dragons. We were gifted a bunch of Lego, and we got 2 of those awesome. And they're actually, I didn't think they would be amazing, dude. I did not think they'd be amazing. They're amazing.
They're just, my jealousy is just,
I'm so sorry.
Bubbling up.
I couldn't believe I was like, oh my God, these things are beautiful. They're far more beautiful than I thought they were. But knowing the scale now of that thing compared to this chopper is also part of what I'm just going, what? Because they're not that big.
No. And
So,
it's a weird...
it's-
It's technically a helicopter.
Is it?
Well, it got tagged as a helicopter. It's got rotors what rotate for liftoff.
Somebody at Brick said, yeah, no, I agree. You'd have to call that a helicopter.
And if you were to call it a helicopter, you'd have to call it a terrible helicopter.
All right.
Top that?
I'm not sure that I can. There was the one thing I saw, there's probably a bunch of these. I think this might be the only one where the helicopter actually fit the title of the set more than the rest of the set. It was set 6330 Cargo Center. And, this is from 98. This box that they call a copter, it's got twin rotors. I'm not sure it should. One of the twin rotors is on the fin at the back, or whatever that you call that part.
It does not look structurally sound.
Does not. It looks highly, highly dangerous. I actually thought if you were playing with this, I remember, building these kinds of things at other people's houses, and they would break. The minute you started playing, things would fall off, because you're like, you can't fly this thing around and have it spinning, and you're trying to hit the blades with your hand while you're flying it with the other hand, and you just destroy this thing. It looks like a bigger crate than the actual cargo center. It's, not a big fan.
It is disappointing disappointing that this set came out at the same time as the light and sound.
Exactly. And the light and sound
Proper.
nails it.
Yeah.
And then this one is just like, no.
And I get it's part of a bigger set,
Sure.
right? The cargo company. What do they do with the cargo company? They move cargo.
Cargo.
Right, that's it. Yeah, I couldn't remember it.
Man.
It'd be like
It was difficult
it'd be
to...
like if Lego named the fake gas company instead of Octan, they just named it Gas.
Yes, exactly. Bit on the nose.
But the color blocking is really weird with the yellow and the black.
It's a bumblebee compared to the blue, gray, white.
There's a lot of extra colors for no reason going on.
Yeah.
And this is what happens when you get Exhibit to make your helicopter.
Exactly. It's just...
Yo, I heard you like squares, so I put squares inside of your helicopter.
Squares on top of squares on top of... Yeah, it's... I don't like it. I don't like the wheels on it either. Those like dinky little wheels don't look well placed.
It's like they took a moving truck, a cargo truck, and put a tail fin and two blades on it, and they're like, done.
And they put like the undersized wheels on the cargo truck too. Like it's weird.
Yeah.
It's so anyway. Yeah, I don't care for it. It kind of looks. I don't want to call it lazy design because I'm sure it's designed within constraints, but I don't care for it. It would almost be better if you took off the rear rotor, but no, it wouldn't.
No, exactly.
I hide it, and it's not even. Maybe it needed a side rotor that came. You know what? If you put a tail that came straight out and a side rotor on it in the rear, that might improve this thing a little bit. Maybe. I don't know. It doesn't work for me.
It's not pretty.
It's not pretty.
It's not pretty. That might top the witches one.
So what do you got now? What is your...
Well,
I don't know what number we're on, but 3?
well, my number 3, and I don't know if you've heard of this set before, 6582 Daredevil Flight Squad.
Rings a bell.
Yeah.
That's funny that we both picked this thing.
I think all of my helicopters on this worst list are things I look at and I go, that's not a helicopter.
Yeah.
That's
Maybe
not a
that's what it is.
helicopter.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It doesn't meet my basic criteria, which are very modest.
It should be called a vehicle with rotator.
Yeah,
That would be
exactly.
about it.
It should just be called accident waiting to happen. It's
Yeah.
not. It's not. Well, why don't we jump ahead then to your number 2?
All right, absolutely. So for my number 2, this is a whole category of helicopter that often gets added to superhero sets. I'm talking number 70914, Bane Toxic Truck Attack.
Oh my gosh.
And this is where they go, oh man, we put the whole budget into the bad guy vehicle. We need to give the good guy something. So
It's
they
like,
built...
It's like a Segway with a rotor.
It's a Segway with a rotor. It's a Segway with bat wings that don't do anything.
Well, it slows you down, Jeff, because you're going to go too fast in this thing.
And it's got 3 wheels and 3 blades.
Oh my gosh.
And just a whole bunch of exposed Technic beam parts. And that is it.
You know, this is honestly, I remember hitting this set, and this is another one of these sets, because if I couldn't identify the chopper in the set very quick, I just moved on.
Right.
I just went, I'm not even going to. And the witches one was one of those. I went, stuff going on. And I just kept scrolling. This one, same deal. I looked at this set and I went, what? And then it's that insignificant.
This helicopter thing with the Segway with blades is so bad. I own this set. I have not built this.
Yeah.
I will never build this. If I was an 8-year-old child, I would not build this. I would just Batman's just going to fight on the ground today because I can't.
I'd build the truck.
Yeah, the truck. Oh, the truck I love. They did a great job on Bane's Toxic Attack here, and the Big Fig Bane is phenomenal.
And they gave, I think they spent it all on Bane's wheel budget. They give him 6 wheels on this ATV.
6 wheels and a really cool suspension. It's a great set with a terrible, terrible, terrible helicopter.
Let me get my rotor.
That's the thing. He is a billionaire in the comics.
This is all
now.
he's got now. This is what he's got.
He has multiple tanks, multiple jets, multiple helicopters, and he's like, Alfred, get the Segway ready. But Master Bruce, we haven't tested the blades on it yet. I don't care.
Bring a slingshot to World War II.
Yeah.
Why bother?
It's not like he had this in his pocket and he's like, I'll just pull it out. He has the vehicles.
That's really bad.
Just sometimes Lego designers just don't include it.
Yeah.
Just don't include it.
Exactly. No, leave us with our let our imagination. Just say there's a helicopter and we'll imagine a better one.
I would have rather they put some crates for Bane's truck to drive through or something in. Like spend the parts on
Just
something.
like bat labeled crates. Just put a nice printed design on the crate. Done. I don't care for that either. I agree with you.
Can you top that?
I can't. You know what, Jeff? The next one I'm going to say is not anywhere near as bad as that. I don't like it for some specific reasons, but it's objectively not as terrible as that. I don't think I could come up with anything as bad as that. The polybag builds are better than that.
Absolutely.
Like I think that should be, maybe if I was to critique Lego design, if the component in the set does not exceed the minimum polybag design criteria, you failed.
Yeah, remove it from the set.
Remove it from the set.
Take the cost of the set down by $1.
Get rid of those parts.
Out. Yeah.
Figure out something else. Like you said, give us a crate.
Yeah.
You may as well.
Yeah.
That should be something, though, I think as a Lego designer, you got to be thinking, like, if this doesn't meet polybag criteria. Anyway, set 6545, search and rescue. Search and rescue.
Yeah,
like it's I don't know, an R&B group or something from the 80s. So
didn't they have that big hit, I'll always be there for you, and most of it was numbers?
I think so.
Yeah. It was like 1, 1, 1, or 1 apostrophe 1, 1, always the letter B.
Don't even. It's too many.
There, the number 4, and then a U.
I don't understand your lead speak or your alphanumeric. This thing, I think what annoyed me with it when I looked at it is the landing skids. I don't like. It's kind of like that one set that you picked out there. Or well, the one that we both picked with the jet.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It has that same weird, I don't like the skids, and they're very much in your face. The rotors look way too short. Mm-hmm. There's a pulley lever on the back. I guess it's a radio antenna.
It's an antenna, yeah.
Yeah, that still looks... And just the whole thing. I'm like, this is weird. I don't want to drive this.
The placement of the tail rotor is weird.
They've just found a body in the water, I'm presuming, because that's what the search and rescue guys come back with nothing. There's an empty boat. Or maybe they're going to do the search and rescue. I presume they were coming back from the search and rescue, and it was unsuccessful. That's how this set makes me feel, Jeff. It makes me feel like failure is apparent.
The helicopter guy's just waving at his friends, so obviously this is over, right?
We lost them. It's just not. We feel bad about ourselves. Let's go eat donuts or something after this. I don't know.
It's not the worst helicopter I've ever seen.
It's not the worst, Jeff. I think it's the set as a whole, though. I was like, what? Why? And this.
But it's not the best helicopter I've seen.
It doesn't look like a helicopter to me. I mean, again, I think it could be improved. That's where. I think a decent helicopter is that, as we're critiquing, there's some that like Batman's, take it away. Ones like these, I think we feel more like it could be improved.
It was so close.
It was close. Yeah.
You're punishing it for.
I do like the body design on it. And I will give it that. If you have the whole streamlined body design, even through the back with the side rotor, I like all that. I just don't like its, landing gear kind of whatever, the skids and the whole blade system's way too short looking. Other than that, I guess it's kind of cool.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know how he gets out of this thing without hitting the rotors. I think that's why they went with the short rotor design.
It could be. So that
they needed to either drop the front down or lift the rotors up a bit higher, maybe, so that the police guy with his ultra long, like, why do you have the jet fighter entrance into your helicopter? It doesn't make structural sense.
Well, okay. If that's, I think that's the best of your worst. Do you have a worst of your worst?
You want me to just hit my worst?
Hit your worst now.
Okay, worst of my worst. I looked at this one. Well, this one's pretty bad.
What have we got?
We've got set number 6461, surveillance chopper, which on its face, you think, hey, this could be fun.
Yep.
This isn't a search and rescue, but it is, we're doing some surveillance. Is this like the post 9/11 surveillance state? What is this? What's going on here? Tell me more about this. No, it's, hear me out. We're in space, but we need to go around the planets, but we need a helicopter. But here's the thing. We can do the printed space logo thing on it because we're not going to need a windshield part because we're in space. Hey James, what do helicopters fly in space? No, but I think you're missing the point of this set.
So I think you might be a little off too, because I feel like this is part of their spaceport line. So it's not that he's surveilling another planet.
Well, he's surveilling. Look at the background.
He's surveilling. No, that's like the Arizona desert.
Is it? Is that what?
Yeah, that's
I feel like you're selling
Ayers Rock was over there or something.
You're selling me Mars. He looks like he's got his like protective.
He's over a road. There's road markings on the ground there.
That's just a landing pad they built on another planet.
I think, and you can see the moon just as a.
Is that the moon?
It's a moon.
I don't know, man.
Okay, but even if,
yeah,
I'm right, and would
you want to fly this?
No, this is.
It's like an ultralight helicopter. It's like, it looks severely unsound.
The blades are rotating inches from the top of your head. I know you're wearing a helmet. That's still a little ridiculous.
You've adjusted your seat a little too high when you hear the
And it's another case of you couldn't give us 2 more 1x6 plates to round out the blades to make 4 blades. We have to have this weird 2 long blades, 2 short blades thing like you often see on helicopters, right?
Yeah, that's right. It's bizarre. I don't know, man. This is weird.
But it's just there's no chair. You just sit on a platform with 2 levers in front of you.
It's not uncomfortable.
And then I guess that's a leftover pizza box in front of him there.
Space pizza. Well, in case he gets hungry, that's what they fed him, I guess. If this is on Earth, they didn't give him bad space food. They said, no, we'll give you space pizza. And then he's got a post box or something on the back of it for the tail fin.
I think he's on Earth, but there's no excuse for this.
Okay, you know what? This is 30 pieces, and I should cut it more slack. But
you shouldn't. The whole
skid
idea. System is one of those 30 pieces.
You can't call the surveillance chopper at 30 pieces.
Well, it's got a camera.
Oh my gosh! All right, man. So you probably topped this. What is your?
That is pretty bad. But mine just offended me. This next set is everything that my number 1 set wasn't.
Okay.
So this is 6664 Chopper Cops, which is just a fantastic name to begin with. But even there, the name lies because it's not Chopper Cops. It's Chopper Cop.
Oh.
There's one.
Right.
Let's call it a helicopter. Yeah. I don't know if we can.
I'm not sure.
But let's say helicopter. And then there's another police officer on a motorcycle. He's not a chopper cop. Unless that motorcycle was very different shaped, and then he could have been a chopper cop. But it would need longer handlebars and a different seat.
Oh, an Easy Riders kind of look. Yeah, this is, I feel like they named the set, they allocated the name and the part number or the box number, and then the designer was like, I can't get 2 minifigures into this. They're like, yeah, we gave you the big bubble. I still can't.
So the last set you looked at that was an incomplete helicopter had 30 pieces.
Mm-hmm.
This one has 67, and yet
it doesn't fare better.
They added a windshield.
I guess that's something.
But I'm offended at this set just because they build a wall behind the pilot and a tail that comes out.
Yeah.
And it looks like they threw a bunch of pieces together.
It does.
There's no body to this helicopter.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think that if you're going to call it Chopper Cops, get rid of that motorcycle and make the chopper look better. Give it some substance. Now, we had our honorable mentions. And these are ones that, again, neither always good nor bad. Let me start out with one I think that answers Chopper Cops in a way.
Okay.
Let me give you 7044 Rescue Chopper. Now, this is, they went, hey, let's put 2 minifigures side by side. You didn't see this a lot.
It is hard to do.
It's a very busy thing. It looks, kind of works, kind of doesn't work, but I don't think it's terrible or fantastic. But I admired what they tried to do here, and I think it kind of works.
I actually really like this one.
Yeah, I mean, for playability, I think you can get them in and out. You've got 2 of them.
And I like the extender arm on the winch, so you can get it out away from the helicopter itself. I think that's a good design.
And those are pontoons on this one, right?
I would call those pontoons. Yeah, this is designed to land in water.
Yeah, so all told, it's a nice helicopter. But I think it's a good answer to the dual sitting individual. In terms of just the playability, I think maybe it's the box that undersells it a little bit. Like it didn't jump out at me the same way some of the other ones did. But actually, this wouldn't be terrible in my collection. But anyway, there you go. So that's
honorable mention, positive in the end.
Positive honorable mention. What do you got for an honorable or dishonorable mention here?
I'll just quickly do. I only added 2.
Okay.
That I had to talk about.
Okay.
And they're both poly bags, so I didn't want to kick on them in the worst ofs.
Yeah.
But we'll start with a set we've talked about more than once on this podcast. 1280.
Oh, no.
Dr. Kilroy's Microcopter.
I hovered on this one quite a bit, and I was thinking of putting it on my worst, and then remembered I was like, oh, no, it's a poly bag. But I didn't, and I 100% agree. I hate this set. There's not a lot of sets I strongly dislike. There's something about the set. Well, what is it? What does it get you? I think we've discussed this one.
It's not a helicopter.
No.
It could never fly. It will never fly. It's got a plate on the bottom, and then it's like they stacked random pieces and put a rotor on top of that.
They did. And it looks, I mean, he's got his gun. They pointed it the other direction so he's not shooting anyone, and a shovel. And then he looks like he's either leaning out. He looks like he should be leaning out to film something awesome, but it actually looks like he's leaning over so the rotor doesn't hit him in the head. Dr. Kilroy.
Dr. Kilroy, what are you doing?
His budget is not big enough.
What do you want to get for a set that you get with a bunch of candy in Japan?
I can't. You complain.
But it is terrible.
We beat on this one before, and it deserves it. It's not good.
It's like somebody swept up the floor of the Lego shop, found the pieces, put it together. They're like, look, I'm a Lego designer. And they're like, let's do it.
Yeah. There's no amount of photoshopping, swooshing that could make this thing look good.
That being said, the Dr. Kilroy minifig is awesome.
It is. So that's the kicker, right?
The suspenders, the bow tie, the green slacks.
The camera. Like, if you actually got rid of the set and just had the photo on the side where he's just filming stuff, I actually like that better. Just give me that.
Yes. Yeah. It's not too much to ask, is it?
Now, you just had two here. Do you want to hit your other one?
I'll do the other poly bag. And this one offended me on so many levels.
Yes.
So we go back to one of our favorite stomping grounds, Ninjago. We love Ninjago as a theme, and there are some phenomenal sets.
Got some of the best sets.
But they also do some ridiculous things, and 30081 Skeleton Chopper. If it was Skeleton Chopper and that was a thing that chopped skeletons, I'd be like, yeah, okay, I can see that. But they clearly show it flying here, and here's my problem with this one. I don't care how many femurs you use. You will not get the lift necessary to take off from the ground.
No.
They use bones for wings, for blades, chopper blades.
No.
That doesn't
make any sense.
No.
I mean, like, at least the swords seems to make more sense on sword-like things, but not bones. You don't need to keep with the theme.
I'm all for reanimating skeletons. I can suspend my disbelief for that.
Well, I like his, I'm going to fly into you and grab you with my side claws. I like that.
Sure, that's awesome. And then there's some purple parts on it too for no reason.
But you can't abide by what?
Yeah, I can suspend my disbelief for reanimated skeletons, but I cannot suspend my disbelief that this will suspend anyone in the air.
No, there's it reeks of failed flight. Is what that thing.
And it's 41 pieces. No, never.
No.
Never, ever, ever.
Now I've got a couple more.
All right, what do you got?
I'll give you. We'll go in quick succession here. I've got 70227 King Crominus Rescue.
You had a lot of rescue.
Rescue's a good word if you're gonna have King Crominus's Rescue. Now this one, I didn't know what to make. This was like if the Rattlecopter thing had been. It wants to be as good as that. Whereas this thing is just kind of like, okay, hear me out. Let's take an alligator now and make it in a copter. No, it doesn't work. Put it back in the box. I think
it's got a lot going, on. Yeah. If they decided to make an alligator mech, that like just went around on the four legs, yes, please, let's do that. That looks awesome.
It would still need something on the back, like some kind of riding thing, or like a situation where the machine is on the back of it, because the back it seems too like weird without, like, the rotors at least give it weight in a way. It makes the set substantial, or the piece substantial, but yeah, it's weird looking. I don't care for it.
I don't like it either.
I don't know. It's indefinable sometimes. I don't know exactly what it is. There was another hideous and rad all at once kind of thing. It was set 6773, the Alpha Team helicopter.
So this is a little bit of good, a little bit of bad.
This is another one of those. You're just like, I don't quite know what to think of what you've got going on here. Kind of good, a lot of bright. They got to have a lot of lightning though to I think cover up, like on the box image, to cover up kind of how kind of just weird this whole set is. It's like this precedes Ninjago choppers in a way. Like, it's got the weird fluorescent blades, which are kind of awesome, but kind of, the whole thing has got, it's a mixed vibe for me. Like, it was one of those, I just didn't know what to feel about it. I was like, I don't like this, but I kind of like parts of this, but I kind of don't like it.
I think it's that giant wedge canopy locks you into a canopy shape.
I guess so.
Right?
Yeah.
And then the body stops at the end of that always, and that's where it looks weird. There's no balance to these copters.
Maybe that's what it is.
I think that's what it is you want them to have more symmetry, more behind the front.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. It just feels like a basket that a person's in with some blades.
It also looks like a lot less than 79 pieces, but I think a lot of those 79 pieces are translucent neon bling.
Yeah. And then the last one I had here was 6462 aerial recovery. And this one, it's that same chopper shape I kind of like. And but the blades were way too small.
Yeah.
I didn't like the landing gear. So it had the same problem I feel like a lot of the choppers have for me. So maybe I've got an idealized version of a chopper I'm coming to realize.
I think it's the top and the bottom that's let you down a lot.
Yeah. I think they do cool body design on a lot of them, but I don't know. Maybe I don't know enough about choppers. Maybe these designers have actually really studied choppers, and we know what we're doing.
I think whenever they do 2 long blades and 2 short blades, it's weird to me.
I don't like it.
Give me the symmetry.
Yeah. Or give me 6 blades.
Or give me 6 blades.
Overall, there was so many bad polybag choppers with the rotor and a couple of bricks, calling it a quote-unquote helicopter. Creator and Technic have the really cool choppers, and we didn't cover those because we stuck to minifigure scale on a lot of them. So some of them we just looked at and I was like, oh, I want to talk about this, but we didn't.
Nope.
That's for another day. But there are a lot of really beautiful contemporary helicopters. Lego's knocking it out the park with some of the stuff they're building now.
But don't feel like you have to give us a helicopter in every superhero or Ninjago set.
No.
Sometimes just make one awesome vehicle that's going to mow down the other guys. And I get it. This might be some kid's only Lego set.
But
totally understand.
If the opposing team's hardware is that underwhelming, it's more disappointing, I think, to give it than to not, in a way. Like, again, give me some crates.
But there has to be conflict in every set.
I guess. Yeah. But yeah, no violence.
Yeah, give us a hiding spot for the other guys then. I don't know.
I don't know what the solution is. Take away 2 of the other guy's tires and some of his axle assembly on his amazing ATV and maybe throw that into the chopper. Could make it worse.
Right?
I think the accessibility was an issue. A lot of these, can you get the minifigure in and out? Does it really have playability, switchability? I don't know. Like some of them were so awkward and weird. It was like, I don't know. I just felt like somebody had been given a challenge of, here's some parts, make me a helicopter. But again, I don't know. Design restraints, I always feel so bad kicking on some of these sets.
But part of it too, then maybe lean into the ridiculousness, right? Like how awesome would that one Batman Segway copter have been? Instead of making it a Batman Segway copter, you just leaned into the restrictions and said, you know what? This is a Bat Segway.
Yeah.
Or let's do a Bat tricycle. Like Batman's in a real pickle here. Tune in next time. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Yeah.
Because that guy's got a tank and Batman brought a unicycle.
Right.
To the party.
Like you say, lean into the ridiculousness.
Lean into it.
Yeah, it's true. Because it's like they're trying to do something serious and it's not working when they're trying to take it on straight away. And even just putting bat wings on it. Like, what? No. A lot of the superhero movie ones kind of left me indifferent. Again, if someone's super into the theme, you're probably going to feel a lot more strongly either way. You're going to hate it or like it a lot more. Like I'm sure when you see those ones that don't work for you in the superhero, they probably bother you a lot more than they bother me.
The bothering point is this the only time they're going to do this minifigure?
Right.
Do I have to get this? Do I have to get this absolutely ridiculous build?
Yeah.
Just so I can get Captain Boomerang or the Red She-Hulk. That's where I get bothered.
I want to see more of like that Rattlecopter. I want to see, if you're going to go lean into the ridiculous, I want to see more of that.
And Ninjago is full of some fantastic builds.
To me, that's really going that extra direction. Like if you're going to do something like amazing in a theme, just go there. Give me the coolest, weirdest Batcopter. Give me the most amazing enemy helicopter in whatever series it is. Because that Rattle one, that was like, this is weird, but amazing. And I want more of that.
When it works, it works.
Yeah, and when it doesn't, it's a polybag.
It does not, no.
Let us know what you guys thought of helicopters. Which ones are, kind of make the grade for you? Which ones don't? What's your design criteria for a good helicopter when you look at a box or you build something? What do you guys set out to do? All of you out in Legoland?
And I'm also curious, think back to when you were a child, and I know there's some kids that listen to this. Have there been helicopters where you're just completely disappointed in building them, or is every time they put a rotator on it, you're like, this is fun, let's play?
Yeah.
Because they got to do it for a reason. So I'd like some anecdotal evidence of success on some of these.
Yeah, that would be nice. It would affirm it. I would feel better. All right. Until next time, I've been James.
And I'm still Jeff.